Hey, what is up guys, this is MaxiJonson and we are currently September 12th, which means it's MaxiJonson's birthday. So 6 years from now, MaxiJonson was created. And yeah, so basically I kind of realized how much I've done and how much I've advanced in like gaming, lyrics, and design. And so I decided that today I would be showing you one of my design projects I've been making. And it's finally done. So basically it's the custom logo maker for After Effects. Now I know it kind of seems pretty crazy why After Effects, not Photoshop, because I'm guessing much like a lot of you would think that I would be using Photoshop, but the reason for that is that I actually can't afford Photoshop because yeah, it's pretty expensive, and also I don't know how to use Photoshop. And like, I mean, I'm all about video editors and stuff. I've been learning those by myself pretty quick for almost since I was 10. So that's why After Effects was kind of I didn't take I took a bunch of risks trying to learn it. But yeah. Anyways, I don't think you want to be hearing my story right now. You just want your freaking custom logo maker. Alright, so when you download this file right there, I'll be putting the link down in the description. You'll get a zip file, the custom logo maker.zip. So just drag this wherever you want, I guess on your desktop. Just download it and open it. So we're just gonna open it right now. And I guess I'm just gonna put it on my desktop because I'm gonna delete that after the tutorial. Okay, did not go in my desktop. Or maybe, where did it go? I have no clue. Alright, let's redo that again. Alright, just, what? Okay, wait, am I just blind or there's no... Maybe if I just go there. What? Alright, this is pretty stupid. There's something right here. Let me just see. Oh, okay, what's there? Okay, let's do that again. Are you serious? Alright, come on, it's like right there, I think. Sorry for that, guys. Alright, let's put it in the downloads then. Better be here. Oh yeah, let's see. Alright, so you just opened the thing. Sorry for the freaking bug. I have no clue what just happened. Alright, so you'll basically have those three files. All you need is pretty much this one and this one. In here I've included, like, because at some point in Logo Maker there's a option for a patterned an image pattern. So I just include like an example where it would like it's a sword, basic sword. Just I went into the first image that went into my mind. And this is the font that's used in, I'm pretty sure, all of the letters. So if you can just go ahead and double click that or open it and then install the font if you don't want it to look pretty shitty. So yeah, alright, so let's go back to that. I just closed it. Whoa. Okay, so you've got those three files, and we'll be going to that file a little later in the video, but for now I'm going to concentrate on this. So just double click it and it will open After Effects. Now before I start, of course this is a logo maker that's like pretty much simple of use, but I mean it's my first, it is After Effects also. I mean it's not a logo, it's a image editor and stuff, so that's why there's a bit of constraints sometimes. And so you need to have a little bit more than just basic knowledge on After Effects, because there will be points where you will need to like logically figure out stuff, and because sometimes some stuff, but depending on what you choose, will not work. And so that's where your knowledge on After Effects will come in. But if you're a total beginner, I mean, you can still try to use it. You'll probably make it, I'm pretty sure, but there's some parts of the logo maker you will probably not understand. Or anyways, I just want to put that in. Maybe want to make sure you know enough on After Effects. So basically when you open the file, this is what you'll see. Basically all of those you ignore. You don't give a shit about those. I think I'm even gonna, in the final version, I'm actually gonna make a new folder that's gonna look like this, and just like a big ignore folder. And then like I'm gonna put all the freaking annoying stuff in there. Yeah, so maybe I won't remember it. I'll try to remember it. But basically, let me just close my door here. So what you want to do is ignore this folder. Don't touch this. You can if you want, but it will mess with the whole stuff. And this is the final results come. So in case this thing is closed and you've got like nothing. Oh, what the hell did I just do? Okay, well, you just double click on final results to open this. This is what you'll be rendering in the end. So keep that in mind. And then if this is closed, just open it. And these are all the steps that you have to follow. So don't obviously start by this one, go right to this one. So background. So let's start. The background, you've got two options. You can either have a solid background like this, or you can have a gradient background that would look like this. In the case that you want a solid background, you check this. By the way, the whole logo maker is really like working based on the viewing option. So like you have to click, like if you click those two, it's like it will just mess up everything. So just like when you want stuff, you just activate it basically. So yeah. So if you want a solid background, what you'll have to do is go here and select the solid background, activate it, and then why is it not from? Okay, yeah. So you select it, and then I actually never had to do that. I don't know why it's not working. You basically need to open the effects control. So I don't know where the hell it is. Effects control. Alright, so you go into window in your menu bar, and then you open the, where is it? Alright, effects control. So you click on that, and then it will open this panel right here, and then all you have to do is just change the color here. Or, you know, as I said, if you know stuff about After Effects, you can change stuff. There's not much to change here, but I guess if you have more knowledge, I'm sure you can make your, the more you know in After Effects, basically, the more you'll be able to do your unique logo. And yeah, so basically you can just go and drag around in here and select your color, and then just press OK, and then it's selected. And then in the case that you want a gradient, you activate it, and as you'll see, there's no effects control. That's because you have to double click gradient, and then I've made a bunch, pretty much all the combination of colors, of basic colors you can get. So like example, personally I like orange and blue, but I guess orange and yellow is pretty good, but let me just look what it looks like with blue. So orange and blue, yeah, I don't really like it. Let's go back to yellow. So yeah, basically see how I just activate the layer. If you want to go somewhere else, you can too. Yellow and orange and stuff. So you go here and you select the gradient you want, and then I'm gonna show you a little trick that you may know if you know After Effects. But anyways, you go here, and if you select it, you've got basically the gradient, the simple gradient. You could change it, and then if you want a little bit different than this, you can, one thing that you could do is go here and change it to radial ramp, and then just center this to the middle or wherever you want. Actually, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just gonna go back and select the default one, which is this, and you can also swap colors and blend in with original. Yeah, that's basically blending it with the orange, because the first name is the base color. So if you blend in with original, If it's 100%, it will be 100% orange since the first word is orange. But let's keep it to 0%, and you can also ramp scatter, but I have no idea what. Oh, I guess it kind of does a little difference, but I wouldn't change that. Alright, so we got a background. I'm actually gonna keep the standard gradient background because I like gradient over solid. So yeah, alright, so now you can close this, and as you can see in the final results, you already got your background. So now let's go on to the next step, which is pattern. So in the pattern, now this is where it gets a little bit complicated. That's why I made this tutorial, because I didn't really feel like making a text file trying to explain everything. I just thought that showing you would be best. So first of all, what you need to keep in mind is you got to start with looking at these. These are your three types of patterns that you can have. You can have a dashed pattern, an image pattern, or a shape pattern. So in the case of a dash pattern, what you can do is just tick it, and I'm just gonna tick that off. It's basically like dashes. I don't want to explain it better. It's dashes. So if you double click it, you have multiple types of dashes patterns. It's basically just adding. I just added more dash or less dash depending on the type. So all you have to do is select the type you like, and then if you, example, I like this one, let's keep it like that. It will look like that, and you can decide after. No, actually, you know what? Sorry for that. So I showed you how to choose a dash pattern. Now I'm going to show you an image pattern. So if you want an image, of course, you activate it, and then you'll see this. And actually, you know what? Before you do that, oh no, let's keep on that. So you have an image, okay? Don't worry, it won't be the actual image like that. So if you double click it, you'll go into this, and then it'll say replace with your image, may need resize. So what you have to do is go into the footage samples, and what you have to do is let's go and take another image. So images, let's think simple or image. I can't even think of, okay, pencil. Okay, let's take PNG. Yeah, always like search for PNG, because PNG most of the time will have like a, as you can see right here, a transparent background. So let's take that, and then what you want to do is when you save it, or you can save it anywhere and then rename it and then drag it into the right place, but what you have to do is save it into the folder right here, and save it as the exact same name of this, and make sure it's a PNG too, because it has to keep the same format. So you have to make sure that it has the exact same name as this one, and that it's a PNG. So then you press save. It'll ask you if you want to replace it. If it asks you for if you want to replace it, that's how it should go. If it doesn't ask you, you've done something wrong, because it has to replace the image. So we'll just go here and replace the image with the pencil. And now, as you can see, it has the image has changed. It's not a sword anymore, it's a pencil. So if we go here, it's a pencil. Now this is where well, basic After Effects knowledge goes in. As you can see, the pencil is way too big, so what you want to do is scale it down. I'm pressing S here to open the scale, and then you just scale it down to whatever the image size should be for you. And then we've got a pencil. Make sure it fills the whole thing, alright? And then you can just exit out of that, and now you've got your image. Alright, now let's go back to shapes. Now when you go in shapes, you double click it. Put a little set of shapes that you can use. You've got a square, tilted square to 45 degrees, circle, a round square, 45-degree round square, polygon. Polygon, when you go into polygon, you can click on polygon, open this polystar, and it's polystar path. And then if you check points, you can modify the number of the amount of points you have. I'm just gonna keep it at 5 because that's the default one, and I'm not actually gonna use this. And then you got 45-degree polygon. You got a star and a 45-degree star. So once you choose your star, try not to rescale it because the whole pattern step is based on this default scale. So you can scale it, but I won't guarantee you that it will be better. So example, I want the star, just check the star here, and then I would go and close this, and now you have a star. So now I'm going to show you, well, basically dash pattern. All there is to change is basically you choose, after you choose dash pattern. Next step is to choose if you want if you want it colored or gradient. So if you want it colored, you check that, and then you can choose your colors from the effect control, like we've seen before for the background. And gradient, now this is different for the gradient compared to the other one. When you go into gradient, you actually have to change it. So you choose your first color right here, and I'm not gonna change it because I already know what it should look like. I think it's gonna look pretty good. Yeah, it's gonna look okay. So yeah, you choose your first color, the top color basically, and then you choose the second color. Then you can mess with that if you know what you're doing. I'm gonna keep on with gradient because I like gradient. Now blur with a question mark, that's just basically asking you, do you want the blur? Well, then you can just, if you want your pattern blurred. Now you don't really see it, but let me just take out the title action safe. So this is the blurred version of the dashed. It doesn't, there's not much difference, but as you can see here in the effects control, you can change the blur. See, now you can see it a little bit better. Just gonna go back to that, but I actually don't like blur, so on this, so we're just gonna not check it. Now we're gonna go try shadows. So it's basically asking you if you want shadows, and then you can mess with this, and then you can also check the final result. It looks like that. What I like to do with shadows, by default I've set it for you like this because I thought it would look nice. But one of the techniques I'll show you is basically the most popular I use usually. What I usually do with shadow is that I put the distance to 0. I put the opacity to like 100 or sometimes 75 depending on what I'm doing. And then I pull the softness to see, like as you can see, you see like a little bit of a, like a little shadow, like a blurred shadow almost. And then it looks like that. I actually think now it looks better, but in your version, when you'll download it, the distance will be at 2, and there will be no softness. I'm gonna keep it like that because I want to show you guys an example of like a really unique logo that you can make when you know your stuff and you edit the stuff. You don't just use the logo maker, because the logo maker is basically all about it's a base, but what you have to do is you have to edit the base so it can look more unique for you. So yeah, so that's for the dashed background. I'm gonna keep the shadow ticked on, but I'm gonna actually take off the dashed. Now I'm gonna show you how to do it with an image. Now as you can see, basically usually the gradient would be off, and now you have your real pencil, but when you tick in, sorry, that was a text message, but I'm just gonna close my phone right now. Um, all right. So when you got your pencil, it's like all the colors there, like the pink there, the orange, and everything. But when you tick in the color, it will change it to the solid color you choose. So you can just change it to like orange, or you can, of course, have gradient, and then it will make a gradient. And you can also change it like I just showed you. And actually, the image would be a good thing to blur. And I'm gonna keep the shadow because I like it. And then you're not, if you choose, oh my god. um, yeah, because when I receive text and I don't answer on my phone, it also goes on my computer, so it's pretty annoying. But okay, let's go back. Once you've chosen an image, it's not over because it's not like the with the dash pattern you would be over after choosing your color and your effects. But when it's an image or shape, what you have to do is choose one of those 4 types. Basically, it's a type of pattern. So type 1 would look like that, type 2 would look like that, type 3, type 4. You almost can't see it. Let's take off the blur. Wait, what? I actually don't know why it's not taking it. Oh, okay, no, it's just that the image is way too small. So don't take type 4 for a pencil, basically. So let's just keep on with type 1 and maybe take off the blur. No, let's keep the blur. Or type 2, yeah, like take type 2. And as I told you guys, you can always come back to final results to see what the logo will look like. So see, this is the background with the pattern on. Now it just looks like a freaking stick. It's not even a pencil anymore. So I'm gonna take off blur. It still looks like a fucking stick, but let's keep it like that. Because we're not actually going to use an image, just to show you guys. So yeah, after you've chosen your image, you choose a type of pattern. It's basically how big you want your pattern. And of course, for people that know their stuff, you can click on type 2 and just modify the motion tile effect. Just modify the tile width and the tile height. Those are pretty much the only one you want to touch, or maybe also the phase if you want to do that. But yeah, you guys will find out if you know your stuff. Alright, so that's for the image, and it's the same for the shapes. So shapes, basically you wouldn't have your gradient, it would look like that without the effect. Then you go in and take in the gradient, and I would actually put a blur. Let's keep it at type 2, but you can of course change it. Let's put type 2 and then type 3, type 4. Alright, so type 2, and then you have your stars, and you can also change the blur. I think I'm going to keep it to 1. So it would look like that. Alright, so I actually like, so that's done for the pattern, but I actually like the dashed pattern for that without the blur. So let's go with this. So the logo looks like that. So it wouldn't be my first choice, but I mean I'm kind of complicated with logos. I'm not really into those. I really like my logo. That's why I kept it for over like 5 years. Anyways, so you're finished with the pattern. So now this is what the final result looks like so far. Now, how much have I done? Wow, 23 minutes already. Shit, we're far from done. Alright. Now, outline. I actually wasn't sure how to call this. I mean, like, if you guys know me well, you'll know that I'm French speaker at base, but I speak way more English than French. But I mean, living in a French world, well, I don't always know my words sometimes. So basically the outline, I don't know how to call it. I think it's called an outline, but I'm not sure. You'll see pretty quick. For the outline, I've decided to go pretty simple on it. At first, in the first like version when I was making it, there was a little bit more options, but then I realized it would really not be working for someone that would be using it. it would really just be working for like when I was doing it and stuff. So it was just too complicated. So I just kept it with shapes, and same for shapes. Before they were, oh, polygon is there. Oh, okay, yeah, it's true. Um, Before it was the star, but then I found out that the star would just be way too complicated to make other stuff with it, so I just took it off the logo maker. There's the polygon, but I highly don't recommend it, because as you can see, not recommended, because no other features will be available. What I mean by no features will be available is that here you won't be, there's no outline decoration for a polygon, there's no outline fill for polygon, and there's no long shadows for polygon, and there is no outline fill pattern. So basically, you, by choosing a polygon, you stick with a polygon, and that's it. Where with these three other shapes, we'll be able to do much more than just shapes. So yeah, so you can choose between a circle, round square, and a square, and a polygon. But I will take the circle because I like the circle. So that, yeah. Now you choose your shape, and then you exit out. Make sure you tick that. If you don't want to the outline, you can just take this off, or take the outline here off. It will do the same thing. Now you can choose a gradient, a color. Let's choose a color for first time, because I've been using gradient for the whole time. Now what would look good with orange? Whoa, maybe some kind of yeah, I really don't know what to match this color with. Maybe with like a darker orange almost. Oops. Alright, and then what we'll do is that we'll just add, there's two effects. There's shadow again, like I've explained, and this time for this shadow I've changed it. I actually put it the way I usually do it, with the distance 0 and with the softness. So far it looks like that, and you can also make it glow, so it would look like that. So let's keep it like that. I kind of like it, not so much, but we'll keep it like that because it's just for testing purposes. And I really want to make this pretty short because we're now at 27 minutes. Alright, so now that's for the pattern, guys. Now let's go to the step 4, outline decoration. For the outline decoration, it's kind of simple, but it's basically what you have to do is, well, if you've previously chosen an outline that's a circle, well, when you go into the outline decoration, you have to choose a circle, not a round square or anything else, because all the decorations are based on the shape you chosen before. So if it's a circle, well, then you choose a circle, and when you double click, you have a bunch of types of decorations that you can add to your shape, as you can see right here. This is the, so don't double click this, it's just that it's two shape layers together, so I've put it into a composition. So I don't know, maybe that, no, what would look good? Oh yeah, you can also mix a bunch of shape types if you want to. That's totally to your imagination. If you like it like that, go ahead and do that. Let's actually try to mix some. Yeah, let's mix type 2 and type 3. So now it would look like that, but then we exit. And same thing for the round square. I'm just going to show you the types, but I'm not going to use them. It's basically the same thing as a circle, just for a square, and it's the same thing for the other one, basically. So yeah, so you take circle if you've chosen it to a circle. Color, you can choose a color or a gradient, and then you can add a shadow too. I don't know why it looks like it's blurring it, but yeah. Alright, so let's choose a gradient because I love gradients. Obviously, as you might have seen. And yeah, so it looks like that. And do I want it this way? Yeah, let's keep it this way. So you choose your color, and you can add a shadow if you want. And as I said, I haven't added it. I don't know why. I think I had a reason, but I don't remember it. But if you want, for people that know how to use After Effects well, you can just, you know, add a new adjustment layer, go here, and if you want to make it glow, well, then you just go glow. Oops, stylize glow. You put into the adjustment layer and you make it glow, and then ooh, it's glowing. But I'm not gonna make it glow, so I'm just gonna delete that. So yeah, so that's for the outline decoration, so we can close that up now. Now let's move on to the next step, which is outline fill. Basically, it's the fill behind this if you don't want to see the pattern. So same thing for the decoration. If you got a circle, well, then you choose circle, and then you can choose just a gradient or color. It will fill it for you. I'm gonna keep it like that. As you can see, I really like orange. I don't like yellow much, but with orange, of course, I don't know. It's so they're two colors that are so close that they look so good together. So yeah, okay, let's close that. Now we've got an outline fill, and now we go to the crucial point that pretty much all of you have probably been waiting for. It's the letters. So the letters really define who you are. Again, you have the shadow option. I'm just gonna add it right now because I know I'm gonna be using it. You've got letters, which are standard letters. When you go into letters, if you want multiple letters, make sure don't tick two letters. You have to go here and edit. Double click this layer right here, and then edit to like AB or MJ. So we're gonna keep it to MJ since I'm MaxiJonson. And yeah, so make sure you edit this and not something else. And don't go here and don't go to Z and then double click and MJ, because as you can see, the letter spacing is different. So you're just losing space. So I'm just gonna put it back to Z. And so if you want a single letter, you go here and you find your single letter, and then you can just go like M. Or if you want, you can choose your letter here, and then there's no, I think, yeah, there's no options for the color, because there's a stroke to the letter which would be affected if I added the color effect. So basically, if you want to change the color of the letter, you go here on the side and you just choose your letter. And I'm gonna keep it orange because I like orange. And you can also change the stroke right here, put it white or stuff, and I'm just gonna keep it black because I like black and orange. And same thing for the other letters. So if you go here, make sure you select it and choose your color. So yeah, well, I'm gonna keep with multiple letters for now. And so that's for the standard letters. Popping out letters, it's kind of my own little creation I found when I was doing a logo. It's basically two times the, well, one smaller and the other bigger, and then there's a shadow that has a certain distance, so it almost looks like the yellow one is like kind of far away from the orange part. When you go here, you have to enter two times your letters. So example, it's AB, and then you do the same for the other AB. Well, I'm gonna keep MJ again, And yeah, so that's for the letters. So I'm gonna keep letters and the standard letters, or maybe the other one. Yeah, let's go with letters because it'll actually go better for the shadow part. Because popping out letters is not really adapted for the shadows. So yeah, so let's close that up. So now we've got this so far. Um, Now let's move to long shadows. This is actually my pretty much what inspired me to make the logo maker, because ever since I've discovered how to make long shadows, it's kind of stupid, I know, but I kind of love the long shadows on logos. Every time someone asks me if I can make a logo for them and everything, I always add long shadows because it's kind of my signature basically. And I know other people are using this, but I don't know. I just like them. I just like it like this. And talking of, speaking of like making logos for everybody, if you want your logo made, I don't really. I only make that for my friends and stuff. But that's why I made the logo maker. If you don't know how to use the logo maker or can't use the logo make or don't have After Effects or stuff, maybe like just comment down in the section below if someone is willing to do one for you, because I already have the intros to edit for people, so I don't really want to jump into logos too fast since I mean I'm going to college and stuff, so I don't want to be overwhelmed. I already have I'm already overwhelmed with the intros request to make to other people, so I don't want to start another business without being able to do that. So yeah, that's just a little parenthesis I wanted to add. So don't ask me to make you a logo, please. I'll just probably say, or probably won't answer because I don't want to tell you no, because I kind of like. Anyways, let's jump into the long shadows. All right. So now we go into long shadows. Again, if you have a circle, let's choose a circle. Uh, Now if we double click, you've got two types. So you've got type 1, where it's the simple shadow that you do not require to edit anything. Although I don't really like this kind of shadow, that's why I added the type 2. But the type 2 was kind of I couldn't make it automated so that you just click it and it adds up. That's why it says read tutorial, and that's where this little file right here comes into place. When you open it, it will explain you how to use the type 2 long shadows, but I'll just show it to you right here. What have I? Okay, yeah. So if you got a single letter, you'll be using this layer. If you got multiple letters, you'll be using this one. So I'll be using multiple letters. So you choose this. Now the MG that was already there, but basically I can put AB, and uh, when you tick the multiple letters, you'll see MJ. That's just because when I was testing the logo maker, I used MJ. But it's not like it's not using your letters that you've chosen previously, if that's what you think. It's just when I was testing. So basically, you got MJ or whatever, AB, whatever. So example, you would go here, it would be AB. Well, oh no, that's not my letters. So you double click that, you put MJ or your letters, not MJ. And then what you want to do is right click on this and then go here and select create shapes from text, and then you'll have this. And what you want to do is rename this to shadows, and or you don't have to rename it, actually that's just when I make logos, but don't rename it, just keep it like that. So then make sure you have your select tool on and just select that. and then when you go here you press add, and then you select repeater. Now in the repeater you open that, put the copies to like 100 to make sure you'll have enough. Now open the transform repeater, not transform, because I've had so many troubles before. I've tried making a logo and I was like, why is it not working? It was actually because I was using this transformer. You want to use this one. So you use this one and you put the position to 1 and 1. Or you can actually put -1 and -1. Well, yeah, or -1, but or 1, depending on where you want your shadow to be. But I'm just gonna keep with the simple one, 1 and 1. And then it makes straight shadows, which is what I pretty much like fallen in love with. And that's it for making that. Now I think, oh, oops, sorry. You can before you exit that, make sure you choose a color from the outline. What? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out why. Oh, okay, yeah. So after you've made your shadow, go into the stroke right here and click it, and then you can choose your color. I'm just gonna keep it black, and you can also set the opacity a little bit smaller, like 75. So it'll give you like something like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the shadows. Now moving on to the next step, letter illumination. That's another thing that I've discovered not so long ago. Basically, I'm going to show you what it does. So if you got single letter, you double click this and you enter your letter. Now you don't see it because I haven't ticked it, but basically you activate it, and then you double click this layer and you put in the letter that you've put. But I have a multiple letter, so again it will look well, it won't look like that. By default it will be MJ, because again I was testing out the thing. But just erase the MJ and then put in your own letters like A, B, or whatever. And well, me it's MJ, so I'm gonna put MJ. And then just keep it like that. You leave your letters like this, and when you come here you'll see that, as you can see, the letters are illuminated. I'll show you right here the difference. This is no illumination, and this is with illumination. So it's kind of a little glare slash brightness, whatever you want to call it. I just thought I would add this in because it kind of looked cool. And yeah, so now let's move to the next step. Let's close that. And the final step is the outline fill pattern. Now you double click that. You choose again, like I've shown you for the others. So we've got a circle. When you double click it, you'll have this. Double click it again. And then it's the same thing as the pattern. I won't be re-explaining it to you guys because I've already shown you it. It's the same. It's actually the same composition, just recopied and stuff. So so here I've already got a dash pattern. So you know what? I'm gonna change that, and I'm actually gonna put shapes now. And I've already got stars in, so let's keep it like that. Let's put a blur actually. So as you can see, there's like some stars, but there's not enough stars in there, so I'm gonna put more like that. And then there's more stars, but let's take off the blur. Alright, so you've got stars. So as you can see, it's kind of pretty nice. It's basically a pattern for the outline fill. And I think we're pretty much done here. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I've shown you my whole logo maker. So that's pretty much maybe I've forgotten stuff. If I have forgotten stuff and you find, and when you edit your own logo, you don't know what is that, well, just comment down below and I'll probably answer it. So yeah. So that's a logo that you can make. It's entirely custom. Well, not entirely, because it's made with the base things. Usually, if I would be using a logo maker, I'd be changing the effects. I'd be changing my own effects everywhere and really making it my own. But again, that's why I really recommend it for people that know how to use After Effects, because that's basically giving you the base of a logo, and then you can really like change everything. Like you could make the pattern glow, or you could make the background, I don't know, like blurred, or you really can do a bunch of stuff if you already know After Effects. Because if you're a beginner, then I mean, it's basically just a combination of stuff, so people could have the same logo as you just because you've used the base one. But I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, I've made the custom logo maker for that purpose. But I'm just saying, if you want your very own logo and make sure that no one else has it, you should add your own stuff too, and modify the stuff I've already added. And wait, this is gonna pop up. Okay. All right, but you're not done yet, because obviously we're in a video program, so After Effects is kind of recognizing this as a video. Right now we're in a video, but what we want is just this frame. Now, you could just go here, take a screenshot. I don't know how you do that on Windows. It's kind of pretty very beginner. I'll recommend you doing a screenshot, and then you can just open it and ta-da, you got a logo. But really, it will probably downscale the resolution and stuff, and you won't have the true resolution. You're only at 168%. The 100% will look like that. But so yeah, 168%. But what you want to do now is make sure you click on final results, or final results here, just to select it. And then what you want to do is go in composition. Is that it? Okay, I got it. So basically, click here in this section of the panel, and make sure like you have that little blue outline right here. And then you go in composition, save frame as. That's why I was looking at it, and because it wasn't activated, so I was like, where is it? I don't know what file would do, but I usually go with Photoshop layers. But wait, let me try. Yeah, whatever. I'm sure if you guys know your stuff, you'll find out. But I'm just gonna show you how to do it the way I usually do it. So you press save frame as, and then Photoshop layers, and then you just put it wherever you want. Wow, it's actually taking a pretty much long time. It has never, usually I don't even see this thing, but okay. Now I'm not gonna save it, but I don't want to lose everything in case I did something wrong. Are you serious? Where is it? I'm having the same problem. I'll have to check that out after I make this video. But yeah, let's do that again. Save frame as, Photoshop layers. See, it's right there, but I don't. Whatever. Let's just get it over with. Alright, so I'm just gonna save it to my downloads. Alright, downloads, and it's right here. Now, it's a PSD, which is basically only openable with Photoshop. I have a Pixelmator that can actually open it. There might be a solution to save the frame as like a PNG or JPEG or whatever. I just have no clue how, because since I have this program, I just go with the simple way and just convert it to a PSD file. But feel free to look up how to save a frame in After Effects into an image. So basically, after you did what I just did, saving it as a Photoshop layers, you can just double click it, and if you have Photoshop, it'll open. Oh wait, there's something wrong. The pattern is wrong, but I'll have to look into that. In the final version, I'll make sure that this error is probably not broken like you're seeing right now. But if I have not found the error, that's why this is the kind of error that needs someone that has the knowledge in After Effects to know what's going on. That's why these kind of people would be able to have this pattern, because they would know how to fix it. And if you don't know how to use After Effects, then you'll have to choose another pattern just because you didn't know how it works. Because again, this is not a image editor; it's a video editor. So of course, sometimes the frame is kind of like effed up and stuff. So that's why it's not the same. But yeah, so example, that was the logo I wanted, even if it's not. Well, you open the PSD file, and then you export it to like JPEG or whatever. Let's put it to downloads. It'll open, like, this is Pixelmator. That's not Photoshop. This is Pixelmator, but it actually can open PSD files, which is pretty amazing. Maybe your photo editor can do the same, but yeah. So if you have Photoshop, that's perfect. You can just do that. But I actually don't know how to use Photoshop, so I don't know how you export something. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty simple. And then you pretty much have your final result, your logo, and then you can just it's actually already made. I think it's a 500 by 500 logo, which a YouTube logo should be 250 by 250. I remember at first, well, final results is a 250 by 250, but then I realized that this was a very low resolution, so sometimes the patterns would be very blurry. That's why, as you can see right here, they're all 200%, because everything is scaled 2 times more to fit this square, so it would actually look good. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. I think I've covered the whole logo maker. Now I just want to do some more specifications, like I said in the beginning of the video. This is for like people that don't know how to make logos, but of course, I mean, I'm not like a professional in this stuff. I just had an idea. I'm just a guy that had an idea in his head and said, okay, let's make it. But of course, there's some spots of After Effects I still don't know, because I'm not studying this field. I'm just taking. I've learned all my software knowledge on YouTube. So there's stuff that I don't know. Sorry, but yeah. So some part of the logo maker may not work like you might think it would. Because if it doesn't work, that means when I was testing it, I haven't tested a logo for every like pattern. I haven't tested a logo for every background. So like, there's a million of combinations that you can make. It really depends on what your imagination can bring to it. All you have to do is basically take what you want and activate it, and change colors and change types and stuff. and then it will make your logo. But of course, sometimes there will be problems and it won't work like it should. Like I've just shown you that white. I don't know why it's not showing the colors. I'll actually look into that after this. But there's a great chance that I won't find out why it's doing that. Because honestly, right now, as I'm doing the video, as I'm filming, my brain is actually trying to process why, but I actually can't. I really just can't think of any idea why it would do that. Especially like it's not just a pattern. It's the decoration, it's the outline, it's the outline fill, it's everything that's I literally don't know why it's doing that. Um, but yeah, so these are the kind of stuff that when I tested it, it was working, and now it's not working, and I don't know why it's not working. So that's why, well, sometimes you might encounter some problems, and that's why I have to stop saying that's why. Oh my god. So if you know your stuff in After Effects, then you will probably be able to fix it more than me. And of course, if you fix it, it would be greatly appreciated if you could tell down in the comments, because basically what I do is I upload the file, where is it? This file will be uploaded to Mediafire right here, and all I can do is just update the file whenever I want. So if you find the error and you like, I can't really give out money because I'm a freaking college student, and I need to keep my money right now. But like it would be great if maybe I'll down in the description I'll put your name if you want to. I'll make like a little list of people that have helped contributing to making this logo maker work at 100%, because I know for a fact that there are bugs, but I have I have solved what I could solve. The other stuff I just let people with greater knowledge than me fix it. And if you can fix it, then tell me down in the description how to fix it, and I'll fix it and then update the file and then put you down in the description, and as like paying you respect and stuff. Um, so is that all I wanted to say? Yeah, so I think we've pretty much covered the whole stuff. I really hope you guys enjoy this idea. I know it's not perfect, but I mean, I've searched on the web pretty much a logo maker, but I couldn't really find one. I think for Photoshop it would be possible, but I haven't seen any in After Effects, because of course I'm probably the only stupid guy that has thought of using After Effects as a logo maker. But After Effects is really like my big domain where like I really know a lot of stuff about After Effects, not everything, but again. And I think that's pretty much it, guys. I really hope you like the logo maker. If you want to see more stuff like that in design, because I really like design, um, well, if you really want to see more about that, make sure you subscribe, show your support, leave a like, comment, share it with your friends, because you know, like, if you don't like the logo maker, I mean there's a million possibility, but if you really don't like it, maybe some of your friends will like it. So make sure you share it with them, and maybe they'll like the idea and make themselves a logo. And if you make a logo with my logo maker, I would really like to see the results that you can see, because right now I'm only working with MJ and stuff, and always using the same colors and gradients and stuff. So I would really appreciate if you make a logo, just put down in the description like a link to the logo. Basically, I would love to see what you guys can come up with. It's always nice to see people using your makers and so, and templates like my intro templates. I always love to stumble across a video that has my intro. Like I really like that, and I really appreciate it, guys. So yeah, if you make a logo using my logo maker, make sure you share it with me too. And that's it, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and with that, peace out.